Hi everyone, week 2, welcome back, Storyteller Junction. What we're doing today and the rest of the week really is diving into the creative process as a storyteller, what goes into creating powerful content, and then helping you understand the lessons that you have to share. So in your resource section, you've got a couple of documents. Please review them after this video. And you've got 2 additional videos, one on a narrative and one on the how-to. So the narrative is one form of essay I suggest you work on during this program, and the second is the how-to. But first and foremost, we're going to talk about you as a storyteller and the creative process. And I do have notes. I apologize for having to look at them. First of all, from this point on, you as a storyteller should also be considered an educator. Your audience is your reader and really a student. What they're looking to gain from your story is something they can implement in their own life. Your job is to give them tools and examples and lessons you've learned along the way in an authentic, clear, concise, reliable manner. I like to think of my storytellers as a triple R. My storytellers create relatable content, reliable content, and rejoiceful content. It's important that you understand that your job as a storyteller is not to promote a program or a service. Your business will grow as a result of you sharing, and as a result of you sharing on platforms that aren't yours. You will change, your business will change, but don't let that be the driving force for your stories, because it'll probably be disappointing for you. Your job as a storyteller is to share your experiences, not promote your business, not promote your services of your business. That's an ad. Storytelling is very different. So first and foremost, we're going to move into a couple of ways for you to really set yourself up for success when writing. Always start in action. There's a huge difference when the first paragraph is the writer is talking to you versus showing you. Huge difference. For example, I just wrote a story about my meditation practice. And I start meditation practice in child's pose. And it's the first thing I do in the morning. Rather than starting my essay as the first thing I do in the morning is child's pose, my opening line was, I open the front door, I open it, belly rise, chest expand, and exhale, inhale the new possibility of the day, belly rise, move down onto the floor, stretch my arms out, expand, deepen my chest. That was how I started. I really did kind of move people through my yoga practice. And it's much easier to hook the reader in when you're in action than when you're just talking to them. So you've got to remember that we are an instant society, which makes us a scrolling society. And your readers are looking to get to the point of what they're gaining from you. So your story shouldn't be longer than 800 words. Hopefully that's a relief for some of you. The most powerful stories are a combination of your personal experiences and research. So let's say that you are looking to write about your experience daydreaming. Let's say you have a visualization couple hours in your business, and visualization and daydreaming is part of how your business succeeds. That's pretty cool, actually. I hope you do that. When you're creating lessons on how other readers can incorporate daydreaming into their visualization practice, it would be really beneficial if you could provide research for why that's so important. So let's say that daydreaming has been researched by the University of Texas, and they've got this cool study that showcases how our brain works while daydreaming. Neat. Quote it. Add it to your story somehow. Don't make the whole thing about the survey, but it just adds some substance to what you create. And editors are really, they'll be thankful for that, putting some reliable information into it, so it's not just you, it's something else. Another sentence structure is another point I want to make sure that you get. You don't have to be phenomenal at grammar to write. It's okay if you're not. Short sentences are your friend. It's okay if you write short sentences. And you've got to remember that run-on sentences actually really lose the reader. So if you're someone that likes to play with colons and semicolons and dashes and dots, really keep it in mind that, particularly remember that your reader is most likely scrolling on an application, their phone, their tablet. You want to keep them engaged, and that will more likely happen when you're concise and you're giving them short content. Time. Let's say you're looking to write a story on summer vacation, what you give your clients or what you give your employees for summer vacation. Let's say that you find it beneficial to give your employees off between the week of July 4th. I hope you do that too. And let's say it's the middle of June and you want to write something and get it published on the Huffington Post. 10 benefits of closing your office for July 4th. Okay, so you're going to start working on that story in the beginning of June so that you can get it exactly the way you want it done, and you're going to pitch it to the media or to Huffington Post or post it on your blog if you're already a writer for Huffington Post pretty much by the I'd say like the last week of June, so that it actually does get published that first week of July. You want to keep in mind that there's some benefit to trends when it comes to storytelling, and you really want to keep your eye on trends in the news, trends in calendar, trends in holidays. And if you have something in your back pocket that can add to the conversation of a trend with a story you're writing, write it and give yourself a couple of days, possibly a week, to get it out there so that you're in the conversation, not before it or after it. And then let's talk about your time in terms of your dedication to this workshop, this program, and to yourself as a storyteller. It is really important that now that you've made the investment in this, that you follow through with it. My goal is that you walk out of Storyteller Junction with 4 pieces in the publishing process. 4 pieces written, 4 pieces in the pipeline to be published, a couple of them already published. I really want you to, I'm giving you everything I possibly can and have collected over the last 20 years as a storyteller and over the last 10 years as a publicist. You will get published if you invest the time in your creative process. That is your decision. And I really want you to be clear on that right now. I meditate in the morning and then I journal in the morning. And a lot of times in my journal, I will come up with new story ideas because my brain is calm and I can think clearly. I'm in a comfortable space in my home and I'm at peace. You've got to find a way to find your creative process and what's going to set you up for success in that process. So if you need to carve out 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night to write, please do that. I suggest that you write every week for sure, and that you're moving towards one story each week so that by the end of it, you have something complete. Also, what I find really beneficial is my creative process is much better when I have my go-tos handy. I've got a cup of water, I've got a notebook and a pen. I'm not the writer anymore that I can't listen to music when I write anymore, so I have to have it quiet. So I know that I won't be disrupted, but maybe you can write from a coffee shop or write with music or whatever, or in the chaos of your house and kids everywhere. Find your flow, and find your flow this week. Figure out what you need for success in your creative process. Next, boundaries. I've been writing for the masses since I was 19. My boundaries really don't go beyond protecting the people I'm closest to. So if I'm writing about my sister, typically I just say my sister. I don't use her name. I write about my love life a lot. And so if I'm writing about a man I'm dating, I don't use his name. I don't talk about our relationship. I talk about what I'm gaining from my relationship. There's a big difference. So you've got to find your boundaries and what that looks like. And it's personal. I can't give you that answer. That's a personal thing. I will say though that what's most important is your authenticity. What I'm teaching you to do is to be a soulful, compassionate storyteller. And that is all about being vulnerable and being authentic. And so, my dear sweet storytellers, there will be times that you will find yourself uncomfortable in your story. And your job is to consistently stand in your story, be sympathetic to yourself, but also remember your boundaries and where that boundary lies. So remember, action, short sentences, keep time in mind, and then the next two videos we're going to dive more specifically into narrative and how-to essays. Your resources give you ideas on 2 links, a narrative link and a how-to link that I've published. And you do have 10 tips on how to create positive, powerful content as well. So I will see you in the next video.